You found me in my study, my office. And here's where I write many books and speak to you all across, I guess, the world. So I love you. This is Don Polston on The Life That Wins. I'm going to talk to you today, just briefly. Maybe 5 minutes or 6, so hold steady. Call your kids in, call your friends in. Listen, I'm going to talk to you about the grace of God. Now that sounds like grace. Is that a blue-eyed blonde? Is that a free pass for me to sin and still be in God? Is grace irresistible? No, you can resist grace, but it is always going to be after you and chasing you. Let me give you 4 ideas. This is only 4 ideas, but first of all, grace is persistent. I mean to tell you, grace, every time you see a church, every time you hear a song, each time you see a clergyman walk by, or you think about your home, or your mom, or a pastor you like so well, that's God. That's God persistently talking to you and saying, come on, son, come on. I want to give you a complete pardon. It never gives up on us, even though sometimes we give up on it. But it is only able to persist for everyone around the world. There is something about the grace of God just keeps right on persistently following you. Secondly, grace is persuading. You know, I was in a store the other day, Apple store really, looking at iPhones and things, and a beautiful young man, or a sort of American Oriental, and before we got away from iPhones to Jesus Christ, and he said, he was a nice boy, I loved him a lot. He may be even now on my internet, we'll see. But, you know, he said, I talked to him about Christ just right away. How can you? And the place was filled with people. And he said, you know, I'm Buddha. I'm Hindu and Christian. I said, you can't be both. But I believe in Hinduism and I believe in Christianity. I said, no, my friend, you can't have 2 gods. You got to have one God. And I just persuaded him the best I could and prayed with him, left him. He said, fine, I'll go to your website and see what it is. It's true. So it's persuading, and that's what we do as servants of Christ. We persuade people inwardly, outwardly, in the church, out of the church, in the bars, out of the bars, on the streets, in the bus, in the air. We're persuading people to receive the marvelous grace of God. And thirdly, grace is pardoning. Oh, I love that. Grace is pardoning. You know what that means? That means the judge. He may be a Supreme Court judge, but he's a judge of all earth. This judge is always chasing you down. It is trying to say, here's your pardon, here's your pardon. Oh, how I see many people on the television that are in court, and they keep looking to the judge to have mercy on them. But I want to tell you something. We have a judge that's got mercy. I want you to believe this, that this grace of God, His justice is on your side. And people say, oh, well, God's mad. God's going to send you to hell. And yeah, but listen to this. He'd rather send you to heaven. He hasn't marked you for hell. He's marked you for heaven. And so he runs around behind you whatever way the Holy Ghost can go. And he is constantly saying, hey, I got a pardon for you. I got a forgiveness for you. I've got your freedom right here. All you got to do is receive it. Receive the pardon. And then I love this. The 4th thing about grace is that you can be a partaker. St. Paul said, I am a partaker of the grace of God. As I studied this morning on my computer, a partaker. What's that mean? Woohoo, boy, I get excited. It's like taking in a steak, taking in food. I'm partaker of it. But a deeper understanding is I have the same nature. That's what it means. Share the nature. Be a partaker of his grace and a partaker of his holiness. Oh, I love that. And so Paul said, being a partaker makes me go from the natural to the supernatural, goes from the labor more than you all. And let me tell you something when I close here, that this grace, which you are a partaker, it turns your life from failure to winner. You got to believe that. Most people are struggling in life to win, to overcome, to live well, to bless their home and their children, their family. Even churches and even the clergymen have to know that once you are indwelt, imparted, infused by God, his grace, your life is turned around from a loser to a winner. He'll make you smart. He'll give you understanding. He'll open the right doors. Grace gives you favor with God and with man. Well, why don't you receive the grace? Why don't you say right now, Lord, I do receive. I'm not going to run anymore, resist anymore. It doesn't work. And so I just now receive the grace of God. And once you receive it, the battle inwardly is over. You have received your pardon. Well, it can't get much better than that, can it? Even with a cup of tea. I guess that's the Englishman in me. But I want to tell you, the grace of God, it can't get any better than what it is. All you have to do is receive it. Isn't that wonderful? Just receive it now. Well, this is Don Poston on The Life That Wins. And so I'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.